Outgoing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a significant statement on Thursday regarding the potential impact of tariffs that President Donald Trump intends to impose on Canadian goods. Trudeau emphasized that American consumers will ultimately bear the cost of these tariffs, which Trump has indicated could be set at a substantial 25%. This situation underscores the complex interplay between international trade policies, national economies, and consumer behavior. ###The context of tariffs and trade relations. The discussion around tariffs is not new. It has been a contentious issue in U.S.-Canada relations for decades. Tariffs are essentially taxes imposed on imported goods, and they can have far-reaching effects on both domestic and international markets. When a country imposes tariffs on imports, it often leads to increased prices for consumers in the importing country. In this case, Trudeau's assertion highlights the economic principle that tariffs on Canadian products will not only affect Canadian businesses, but will also trickle down to American consumers. President Trump has long advocated for protectionist trade policies, frequently using tariffs as a tool to negotiate better trade deals for the United States. His administration's approach has included threats of tariffs on multiple countries, including Canada and Mexico, which are key trading partners. The intention behind such tariffs is often to protect domestic industries from foreign competition, but the repercussions can be widespread and unpredictable. Trudeau's comments reflect an understanding of the broader implications of these tariffs. He pointed out that if Trump moves forward with his plans, whether that happens on January 20th, February 1st, or even as a Valentine's Day present, Canada will respond in kind with retaliatory tariffs. This tit-for-tat approach is common in international trade disputes and can lead to escalating tensions between countries. ###The potential impact on American consumers. Trudeau's statement about the potential rise in prices for American consumers is particularly noteworthy. When tariffs are imposed, the cost of imported goods increases, which can lead to higher prices at the retail level. This means that everyday items from groceries to electronics could see price hikes that consumers in the U.S. would have to absorb. For example, if a Canadian company exports a product to the United States and is subject to a 25% tariff, the company may decide to pass that cost on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This could lead to increased costs for American families, making it more difficult for them to afford everyday necessities. The impact of such price increases can be particularly pronounced in sectors where consumers have limited alternatives, leading to reduced purchasing power and potential economic strain. ###The broader economic implications. The potential for retaliatory tariffs adds another layer of complexity to this situation. If Canada responds with tariffs of its own, it could create a cycle of escalating trade barriers. This could negatively impact businesses on both sides of the border, leading to decreased trade volumes and potential job losses in sectors that rely on cross-border commerce. Moreover, the interconnectedness of the North American economy means that these tariffs could have implications beyond just Canada and the U.S. The Mexican economy is also deeply intertwined with both countries, particularly in sectors like automotive manufacturing, agriculture, and technology. Any disruptions in trade patterns could reverberate throughout North America, affecting supply chains and production costs. Trudeau's warning serves as a reminder that trade policies are not just abstract concepts. They have real-world consequences for businesses, consumers, and workers. The ripple effects of tariffs can lead to increased uncertainty in the market, affecting investment decisions and economic growth. ###Historical precedents in trade wars. Historically, trade wars have often led to unintended consequences. The Great Depression of the 1930s is a notable example, where protectionist policies, such as the Smoot-Hawley tariff, exacerbated economic downturns. Countries around the world responded with their own tariffs, leading to a dramatic decline in international trade and worsening economic conditions. More recently, the U.S.-China trade war has illustrated how tariffs can escalate tensions between countries and disrupt global supply chains. The imposition of tariffs between the U.S. and China led to retaliatory measures that affected a wide range of industries, from agriculture to technology. As businesses grappled with increased costs and uncertainty, many consumers faced higher prices for goods, further illustrating the interconnected nature of global trade. In this context, Trudeau's remarks about the potential impact of tariffs on American consumers highlight the risks associated with protectionist policies. The potential for a trade war between Canada and the U.S. could have far-reaching effects, not only on the economies of the two countries, but also on their political relationships. #### The role of consumer awareness. As discussions about tariffs and trade policies continue to unfold, consumer awareness plays a critical role. In today's interconnected world, consumers are increasingly informed and engaged, often using social media and other platforms to voice their opinions about trade practices and corporate behavior. This heightened awareness can influence purchasing decisions, as consumers may choose to support local products or companies that align with their values. In the case of potential tariffs on Canadian goods, American consumers may begin to reconsider their purchasing habits. If they are aware that tariffs will lead to higher prices, they might seek alternatives or advocate for policies that promote fair trade practices. This shift in consumer behavior can have significant implications for businesses, as they must adapt to changing market demands and preferences. #### Looking ahead, the future of trade relations. As the possibility of tariffs looms, it is essential to consider the long-term implications for U.S.-Canada trade relations. Both countries have historically benefited from a strong trading partnership, which has fostered economic growth and job creation. A breakdown in this relationship could have significant consequences for both economies. Moving forward, it will be crucial for political leaders to engage in constructive dialogue and seek solutions that prioritize fair trade practices while protecting domestic industries. Negotiating trade agreements that promote cooperation and mutual benefit can help to alleviate tensions and foster a more stable economic environment. Additionally, businesses must remain agile and responsive to changes in trade policies. Companies that rely on cross-border trade should consider diversifying their supply chains and exploring new markets to mitigate potential risks associated with tariffs. By proactively addressing these challenges, businesses can position themselves for success in an increasingly complex global landscape. ###Conclusion. In conclusion, the statements made by outgoing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau regarding potential tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump highlight the intricate dynamics of international trade and its implications for consumers and economies. As discussions surrounding tariffs continue, it is essential to recognize the potential consequences for both American consumers and Canadian businesses. The interplay between trade policies, market dynamics, and consumer behavior underscores the need for accurate communication and informed decision-making. As history has shown, the consequences of protectionist policies can extend far beyond immediate economic impacts, affecting relationships between countries and the well-being of citizens. Ultimately, fostering a cooperative trade environment that prioritizes mutual benefit and fair practices can lead to a more prosperous future for both Canada and the United States. As both countries navigate the complexities of international trade, it is imperative to engage in meaningful dialogue and explore solutions that support economic growth while ensuring the well-being of consumers.